Hey guys, Marsegid here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to have a little bit of a conversation about what the heck is going on with Global for New Year's, what will happen if, you know, the previously synced New Year Dual Dokkan Fest is not synced this year, what could we expect to see? All that kind of stuff. We're not going to go super in depth. It's just going to be me discussing my thoughts on the topic and just showing a few important events from the past 2 years that give us a bit of an idea of how this could pan out. So on screen right now, I'm showing a tweet. This is from around this time last year. So shout out to Koto, our queen. She is gone now. No longer the producer of Global. A lot of people memes, all the memes about blaming Amatsu taking over, things like this wouldn't have happened under Koto for all the various issues that have happened in Dokkan lately. But this tweet came out around this time last year. So this is UK time. They always love to post the producer letters at these really awkward times for me. But this was December 17th. So obviously today is December the 16th. Tomorrow will be the 17th, but tomorrow will be a Sunday. I believe, in fact, let me have a look. Let me just double check. What day was the 17th last year? If we go back to 2022, December 17th. Oh, it was a Saturday. So that's interesting. So I guess we technically could see this drop tomorrow morning, but I don't know. Sunday's weird. Sunday's that day of the week where we don't normally expect news. So I guess we could actually see this as early as tomorrow morning, but I'm expecting this Monday morning, but I guess we will see. That's if it is going to happen. Because remember, this was the producer letter. This talked about the results of the voting campaign. They just went through some stuff here. We had the link skill orbs. This is where we got to... Wow, this is all that time ago, eh? Where we got to choose the Easy A for God Goku or Beerus first, which was a global first. That was kind of crazy. And then, of course, they then went on to reveal... they were talking about Project Z still being updated. That's kind of crazy. And yeah, we finally got... it's much further through the video than I thought it was. But yeah, there you go. The announcement of the Dual Dokkan Festival of Piccolo and Gohan, which of course was on both versions at the same time. I think, was it from the Jump Festa? We'd already gotten the teaser for Gohan and Piccolo. But just obviously that's solely based around JP. So we knew they were coming to JP. But this producer letter essentially confirmed what we'd suspected at the time, that it was going to be released on Global at the same time. So this was a year ago, coming up as of tomorrow. So we'll be keeping our eyes peeled for more news updates like this. Anything that comes out, of course, you guys know I will keep you updated. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Keep an eye out for these things, and I'll try and get the news out to you guys as soon as it drops. So if we go over to the wiki page here and take a look at the timeline. So this is how things looked last year. So we came into December. We were coming off the back of, what actually was it? The end of November was different, wasn't it? Because last year we got the Tanabata unit after Heroes. So we were coming off of the release of the Tanabata LR, going into December, where we got the all the stuff from that celebration that JP got. And then we moved into the 12th of December. This is where we got the Carnival banner for LR Fusion Zamasu. So that's roughly where we are in the schedule now, right? Because this is where we now have gotten the double rates Carnival banner for the new Super Saiyan LR trio from the Android 13 movie, right? So this is where we are now. And then as we scroll down here, we know we're getting to this period here where we're getting the Easy A. There were two for last year, two LR Easy A's, but we know we have the Android 13 Easy A, the Trunks sub Easy A, as well as the two future Androids. So Easy A's coming up very soon. So this is roughly where we are right now in the timeline, right? And then nothing else really happened. I mean, a couple of Easy A's and Petan Battle is nice, but that's kind of it for like... This was almost 2 weeks, I guess. It was like, what, 13 days. But then... 28th of December, there you go. That's where we saw the release of Gohan and Piccolo with the side banner units, Pan and the Goten and Trunks. This all released on the 28th of December. and is essentially, as we always refer, the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest, right? Because this was the last thing to come out, apart from we got the free-to-play Gammas as well, right? So that was the last thing to come out at the end of December 2022. So if we follow this same timeline again, we will be getting the Dual Dokkan Fest on or around the 28th. Again, if we go back to look at the calendar, the 28th will be a Thursday, which, I mean, we're used to seeing drops on a Thursday anyway. Last year, the 28th was a Wednesday, so it's, you know, midweek, very common for Dokkan drops on those kind of days. So if JP and Global are going to share the Dual Dokkan Fest, then this should be roughly where it drops again this year. However, there are concerns that we are not going to be getting the Dual Dokkan Fest at the same time. Obviously, there's been a couple of things. The main one, Minato talked about it on the podcast. I know he's got a video going over it in a lot more detail. So if you want to go check that out, just to cover some of the main points, is the fact that JP has some content updates coming. I made a video about it actually to hint at, you know, a certain, maybe a movie celebration coming up where they're removing a bunch of Extreme Z areas that are for movie boss characters and just combining them all into a movies edition Extreme Z area. So it's one event you click on that will then have multiple stages. But we haven't seen any announcement or anything like that on Global. So if that is indeed tied into what is coming out for New Year's, then Global clearly isn't getting, or at least isn't getting that aspect of it, right? And it would be kind of annoying if they did do the same Dual Dokkan Fest, but then they cut out a bunch of stuff from the celebration, right? Because last year, a similar thing happened where both versions got the Broly and Gogeta Easy A's, but then JP got Trunks and, Gohan and Cell, but then that was delayed on Global for seemingly no reason. So unless they're cutting out the free-to-play Extreme Z area stuff, then if that is a hint to New Year's, that would imply that Global isn't going to get that, right? So it could be a hint for something else. It could be a hint for the build-up to the anniversary, so maybe it's not related. But that is one big thing. And then, of course, on Global, if you go into and look at your missions, or like the news for the missions for the current celebration that we're in, they all say part 1, which means there's going to be a part 2 of what we're in right now, which is essentially like the Christmas celebration. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't necessarily then have another one like start straight afterwards, right? We can have part 2 of the current one and also have, like, you know, the New Year's celebration, if it is shared with JP, start at the same time. That has happened before. We've seen it with things like Heroes and stuff as well. So that's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's looking like we could see no same time release. So yeah, again, this is what we saw last year. Orange, Piccolo and Gohan. What do you guys think we will see for New Year's for the Dual Dokkan Fest for JP? Because I've seen a lot of people hoping we finally get a playable Beast Gohan, but I think it'd be kind of weird for them to do essentially the same thing like 2 years in a row, right? Even though this guy didn't become Beast, doing a superhero Dual Dokkan Fest 2 years in a row would maybe be a bit strange. Plus, I don't know, like, what other content do they have? Like, they can't start easy A-ing the older characters already because they're only a year old. We can get a part 2 LR potentially out of it, right, with Gamma 1 and 2 or Cell Max or something like that. But I feel like it's a little bit too early to be going back to superhero in terms of a celebration like this. I feel like Anniversary, where they could couple 2 things together like they often do with like GT and something else or something like that, would be really beneficial for superheroes. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But if we take a look back at the timeline, so this is the year before 2021. So we saw a Dokkan Fest release at the start of the month. And then we got some Easy A's. Then we had the Christmas like LR banner, which again, this is roughly where we are now with the release of the Super Saiyans. We got the Easy A's that came with them, Chain Battle, that kind of thing. Then we got a World Tournament at the end of the year. That's what we got for New Year's. We got the World Tournament. So that was fun. Hopefully they are not going to be doing that again. But yeah, look at this. Look how dead this month is, right? We got a Dokkan Fest at the beginning. So we could count this as like 21, even though she came out in sort of like the last couple of days of November. Actually, was it November? Anyway, 21 was the Dokkan Fest that came out before the Carnival LR. And then, yeah, nothing else if you don't count like a World Tournament, right? Nothing else for like the rest of the month. Now, JP, this was the year where JP got the Goku and Boo Dual Dokkan Fest. You can see here again, released on the 28th. So it seems like maybe regardless of the day of the week, the 28th is like the working day that this will be dropping. So this is when Boo and Goku came out on JP. And if we take back a look here at the timeline for Global, this is where Boo and Goku then dropped on Global, the 1st of April. Now, if they repeat this process again, and we don't get the shared Dual Dokkan Fest for New Year's, doesn't necessarily mean that this is where they will drop the units next year for 2024. But this is a really sort of awkward time slot, because if we look at March, we know every single year, March 18th is Saiyan Day. And obviously, this most recent Saiyan Day, we got Physical God Goku, who was, at time of release, the new best TUR in the game. So you imagine we're going to have Saiyan Day, which will hopefully see another very, very good, you know, at least top 5, hopefully, TUR releasing. God Goku will be on his banner, returning again. But then literally the next, like the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest will then be coming out like 2 weeks later. This is really bad for global players, obviously, if the units end up being something we really want to summon for. The only benefit, of course, being that we'll have already seen what the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest is. They'll have been out on JP for a little while, so we'll have been able to see people use them in events and stuff like that to get a bit of a better idea how good they are and how worth summoning they are. But, again, problems like this just mess up the entire timeline for everything, right? Because Global stays behind JP. We know they've announced that the schedules are going to be synced at some point, but the longer we stay behind, the more awkward it is to catch up. And taking a celebration that was synced last year and then making it not synced last year is technically a step backwards from having the versions both synced up. So I really don't know what they're going to do. We'll have to just wait and see. As I said, we may see a producer letter as early as tomorrow. But yeah, worst case scenario, not only are we not getting the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest and potentially getting like a world tournament, we might then have to wait until April to get the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest units, which is kind of crazy. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you worried about the situation? Do you think that Global is at risk of not having this New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest? Do you think they will still go ahead and share them on both versions at the same time? Because like I say, there's a producer letter potentially incoming. I mean, one didn't come out today, so by the time this video goes up, there won't have been one randomly posted, because we're way past the time when Global usually posts news updates. So, you know, we could see one by the time this video goes up. We could see a producer letter within the next 5 or 6 hours. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think we will be getting the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest on both versions at the same time? And who would you like to see the units be? So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.